girl, I need to wash my butt. Like, I'm asleep on the fucking couch and like my butt smells. Like, you know.
And I'm always saying that.
Yeah, Aphrodite, thank you for being here.
Oh, of course.
This is exciting.
Yeah, we're hyped. So obviously this podcast is called Cancel Your Plans.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love to cancel plans. Do you love to cancel plans?
Actually, I don't.
You don't.
Okay.
You commit.
I really don't like to cancel. I'm just going to not plan if I think I might cancel.
Yeah, you don't
I'll
set
just
yourself up for...
I don't set myself up to cancel a plan. And if someone cancels a plan on me, I get like so mad.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
What was the last time someone canceled on you? And are they alive?
They're still alive, barely. No, literally the other day my partner they didn't even cancel the plan. They just like moved it like a few hours and I was like, this is unacceptable.
Really? Just
like,
moving in a couple hours?
Well, they called me and they were like, so we were gonna hang out at nighttime. I hope they go mad at me.
We can cut it out.
We can always cut it out.
It's like new. We're new, so I don't know yet.
Sure.
So like we were gonna hang out at like 8, and I kept asking them. I was like, when are we gonna hang out on this day? Just because I'm not even a planner. Like all my friends think I'm like the wild person, but they're like really not a planner. Like they're like freelance artists.
Totally.
Boots.
Yeah.
And like then I was like, so what time do you want to hang out? And they were like, I don't know. And then like the next day I asked the same question. It's like, I'm not sure yet. So I was like, okay, we're just going to say a time.
Yeah.
We set a time and then sure enough, they called me like 4 hours before that time and they were like, come over right now. And I was like, no. Like,
did they think they were being sexy?
Yeah,
I think they thought they were being sexy. They were like, come over right now.
Are you
I was
guys
like,
committed?
No.
Like, or is it still
We
a
are.
talking stage? Okay.
We are committed.
Okay, I was gonna say if it's still a talking stage, I would like be like, oh, this person's just not that into me or something. If they're
Right.
But because you guys are committed, I'd be like, you're just being like a
Yeah,
flaky
and
person. Just
then
show
they were
up.
like, yeah, like come over now. Like
Yeah.
I was out with my, and I chewed their ass out of the phone.
Good.
Chewed their ass out.
Good
I was
for
so,
you.
but I feel like I've discovered this. Like, I think that's how you keep a man. They're not a man, but
But
for
in
ladies
general,
out there,
that's the phrase. Yeah,
that's how you
would
keep a. You have to be a total bitch.
Well, you have to train them.
You know what I mean? You have to
Like a dog.
exactly.
I wish that I didn't agree with that, but I do a little bit.
It's true.
Training might be a harsher word, but I'm trying to think of. You're learning sort of.
You
like,
have to tame the shrew.
You have to tame the shrew. You have to learn each other's. You have to learn.
Taming the
Everyone's
shrew.
speaking a different language. Everyone's
Yes.
speaking a different language. You have to learn how the other person operates.
Yes.
And it's really interesting to those early conversations where you're like, get it the fuck together. Do you know
Yeah.
who you're dealing with?
Yeah,
and
dude,
especially if
exactly.
someone's not used to someone speaking to them like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And if they react in a weird way, then also you
know.
then go, oh, can I not talk to them
Talk
like
to you
this?
like that?
How do I maneuver this?
But I
And
feel like
it's
that's how you
interesting.
find out that it works, if it works.
Yeah.
Because like
If
if they
they
like
listen.
you when you're bitching, if they
Yes.
still like you when you're bitching at them,
And they take the feedback and they act accordingly.
yes.
Mhm.
I think
Yes.
that's great. I think you have to show your boundaries. Like, hey, you can't just snap your fingers and I'm going to come to your apartment.
Exactly.
That's like a booty call. That's not what you guys are.
That's what I said. That's what
you
I
guys
said.
are like a committed relationship.
And then the funniest part is I was like, so I'm not gonna come over right now because I'm out with my friends. Self-respect. That's the other thing, women. We don't have that usually.
Yeah, we have to learn it pretty hardcore.
It's
like
the only
our
time I
value.
ever learned it. Like I've never had it before.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
interesting, yeah.
Never have I been like, if someone said come over, I would be like, on the way. Like I would never be like, no.
That
you know?
comes though. You'll
That comes, yeah.
Aphrodite, how
You're
old are you?
younger, right?
I'm 23.
You're 23.
Okay,
You're
Aphrodite's
figuring it
23.
out. Also, we're so psyched because you're probably the youngest person we've had.
I was gonna say you're
Really?
the
far.
youngest.
So like
Oh my God.
we're interested in
The young.
in the young.
The
We're
young.
interested in
The Gen Z.
learning about.
Yeah, you are
like,
Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
I met Aphrodite when during Bad Drag Race
Crazy.
at UCB, but I remember
Really?
Oscar was like, she's like 18 here, and I was like,
Girl, I was
like,
16 when I started.
That's crazy.
I was 16.
Wait,
so
how
I was
though?
like, there she
Because
is,
you
like
were
someone
just-
else.
Just in high school, just coming.
Yeah.
Just
On
coming to
weekends, I would
classes.
take the train to
Seriously?
LA and I would go.
And perform and do.
Yeah.
and do the damn thing. It was
That's
so
commitment.
funny.
I love that. When Kyle and I were like prepping your episode in a very millennial way, we were like, all right, well, Aphrodite's like cool. Like, and Gen Z, like first Gen Z guests, like how does Gen Z cancel plans? Like, do they, because I think people think Gen Z is super flaky. People
Won't
always
look you in the eye.
People always talk about the younger generation negatively, right?
That's
Millennials
so true.
got it, and now it's you guys. Now we're all shitting on you. I mean, I shit on Gen.
Tell me what you don't like about Gen Z.
I think everyone's annoying when they're young.
Yes,
I think like everyone, when like once people are like going out into the world and figuring out that like it's not all about them and like their opinion like isn't as important as they think it is. Right. I think that like everyone's annoying. However, like I think being terminally online just kind of amplifies it.
Do you think you being like queer and growing up queer made you mature faster?
Absolutely, because also like I was just kind of like I was the oldest sibling and like and like my parents.
The oldest daughter, it's a thing, you know. That's
is.
A TikTok thing now.
Is it really?
Eldest daughter? Have you not seen that yet? Now
What's
you're gonna get it on your phone. It's called like eldest daughter disease or eldest daughter. Where
disease.
She was the eldest daughter.
Where you're just
things are gonna start falling off.
You have to be responsible for your siblings,
literally,
and you emotionally regulate like everyone in your family.
Yes, and you're like the boss. Like I was the boss. I was the man of the house.
Yeah.
At a time, because my dad, like my parents are divorced, like, and my mom was a single mom for a long time, and I was the man of the house.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like I matured fast because of that, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I think also just like when you're queer, like there's like it's described as like delayed adolescence, because you like which is why like you see gay men like acting like teenagers like all the time
when they finally come out and they're comfortable in their skin.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, and now they want to go to Disney all the time and like, honey, like,
are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
But like, I do think that with trans women, it's low key the opposite, because I just like know so many trans women where I'm like, you support yourself completely financially and you're like 18. You know what I mean? Just things
I think so too.
We're forced to sometimes like, I'm very lucky that my family loves me.
That's great.
But like, I burped. But like, it looked like I was crying, but like I was literally just burping. Like,
my family loves me.
Just burping. Yeah, like
we're just gonna cut that small thing into a clip. It's gonna cut out right before you said you burped, just so feels like we had a real moment.
So we have like an emotional tender.
Yeah.
We'll put music under it.
My family like totally accepts me, but that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, that like I'm like normally not financially supported.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not financially supported because of being gay.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your parents are just like drawing a line in the sand of like money.
Yeah.
Right. Well, also like my dad's like a drug addict. Like
fair.
Like his form of like financial support is like he sends me a flashlight for Christmas.
Oh.
I'm like, a flashlight.
It's like, that's what you can do. Great.
Thank you.
I also think growing up with an addict parent makes you mature faster.
Oh yes, because I'm like, why?
One of my favorite.
Why is Daddy passed out on the floor?
One of my favorite lines in his show was like, "Oh, I'm a great cook. My mom was an alcoholic." And I'm like, oh, that's such a concise way of saying like, I had to cook meals for myself since I was like a kid, because my mom would be passed out or like whatever.
I was like the girl who's like, oh my God, Mom, please don't get mad at me. I love you so much. Don't get mad at me. I was like the girl who's like, everyone gets picked up at drop off and I'm there like,
aww.
Me too.
And I'm just there alone. Like, it's not like, they're like, what do we do with him? Like, like they're like, he doesn't pay for like the after school like care. Like, he's not like paying for it. Like, they're like, do you have a ride? And I'm like, I guess home. Like,
yeah.
And it wasn't like they forgot about me.
There was just too much going on.
Yeah, there was just too much going on.
And because you were handling your shit from a young age,
right?
They were like,
she'll be fine. And then I became really social because like I'd be wandering around like just like just like wandering around and shit. And like I needed to rely on rides like constantly, rides to school, rides home. So I would be like,
you were getting your own rides at like a young age.
I was getting my own rides.
How many sibs do you have?
Just one. Little brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's in college.
So when it comes down to making plans and stuff, or even trying to like put something together, do you think because you grew up having to like really have your shit together, when stuff sort of starts to fall apart, things get moved around, you're like,
Yes.
Do you think that's why you're kind of like,
I think
why are you messing this up for me?
Yeah.
I did all of the due diligence.
Yes. I think for me, it's a thing of like, I'm like a pretty like, I'm not a schedules type of person or like a organized type of person normally. It's like a paradox because it's like, I'm like a mess. I'm like a mess, but like
these beats.
I'm an extrovert. So
Totally.
if I think that we have plans, like that's my medicine, you know, like when I work, like I love plans. Like I love socializing.
But you don't write it down on your phone. Get together with Kyle. We're going to this place.
I just remember because that's like the highlight, you know.
Oh, that's a sweet way to put it.
Like if I'm like, oh, I'm going on a date. Like I'm going on a date after this. I'm like, I would not forget that I'm going on a date on Sunday. I'm like, on Sunday I'm going on a date.
Where are you going?
Forget that.
Yeah, where are you going?
They want to go on. They're non-binary. Yeah. Yuck. No, literally, they want to go on the Swans at Echo Park.
That's a classic.
I've been trying to
LA date.
schedule that.
Though.
This is not the best day to do it.
Oh yeah, you should go somewhere where they
I won't
see.
lie. Maybe
Yeah.
you should reschedule that.
Or just
Cancel the
shift
plan.
it. Shift it. You don't have to cancel the date. Just be like,
Yeah.
hey, it's too hot. Let's go elsewhere.
Well, cancel your plans.
I know.
It's literally
Maybe just change it to a different day.
Go somewhere where they see.
I cancel on this. No, this is what it is. Straight people, fuck you. I'll cancel on you whenever I choose. You know, like if you invite me to some stupid shit, like, oh, you want to go out to a bar in Silver Lake and smoke cigarettes, and
Do you
no
want
one's
to go
gonna
to
talk to anyone,
Jay's?
Yeah, Jay's
and
bar.
no one's gonna dance at all. Like, oh, do you want to come to my stupid event where they're gonna play? Do
Do I want to listen to the Chainsmokers?
Like, then I will cancel the plans.
Totally.
But by canceling, I just like don't. That's Gen Z. Is we just like don't show up. We'll be like, I'll be there, not show up.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And you don't. Your friends don't text you like, wait, Aphrodite, I thought you were coming. Or do you get those texts and you don't care?
I think like there's like a thing. Oh my God, maybe we're getting. I don't even know. I don't even know if this is too much. But have you ever noticed like there's a thing of like, maybe it's a being young thing more than a Gen Z thing specifically.
Yeah.
But there's sort of a thing of like, I don't care enough to ask. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to act like I don't care. You're going to act like you don't care. We're both going to act like we don't care.
I think you're right. I'm 32 now, and I would text my friend, like, are you okay? Did you get hurt falling? Did you fall down your stairs?
In the shower?
Like, because if my 30-year-old friend doesn't show up, I genuinely am like, something could
must have
really have
happened.
gone wrong.
Right.
But yeah, I think at 23, I probably would have been like, oh, I'm never going to ask Tiffany why she didn't come because that would be like lame.
And it's like like we're scared to double text or like
I don't want to show her that I care.
Yeah.
I think that's seems
I
pretty
think you're
normal.
right. It's not necessarily a generational thing. It's just a being a young thing.
But also I feel like, yeah, especially at that time too, it's sort of like, I don't know, if it's a friend that you know to be kind of like all over the place, like, girl, I don't know, she's just she's doing whatever the fuck she does, and it's not that serious, and it's fine.
I think that's also just maybe LA as well.
Yeah.
Like, girl, somebody will be like, wake up, and they will just not want to drive, and then it's just like, well,
Yeah, it's too hot.
right, it's too hot,
Amen.
or that's far, like that's too far.
I use that's
so
far for things that like I'm in Los Feliz and it's like an Echo Park. And
You're
my
like,
friend's
that's
like,
far.
yeah, that's like 15 minutes. I'm like, that's far. Like Sunset could get crowded. That's far.
Gen Z also, we have like a what's weird is like we make a ton of rules, but also we're still like no rules.
What's up with that?
I don't know, but millennials, y'all also, I think a thing about you is like to get back at you. You. I think that like millennials are not as hard of workers as Gen Z are.
No one in LA is busier than the people who aren't employed.
Oh, absolutely.
They're so busy.
They're the busiest of all.
Yeah.
No, I went to school with so many like nepo, like,
Really?
oh yeah. To LA, they wouldn't be nepo, but to like the rest of the world, they're like nepo. Like,
yeah. Like wealthy.
they're wealthy.
You have a parent who like worked on a thing.
Right. Or even if
Right.
even if it's not in entertainment, it's like just so much money that it's like, well, it was kind of just like pick whatever the fuck you want to do,
we'll help you.
like good for you.
God bless.
Like you know that how Felicity Huffman's like,
Yes. Her,
you know
how
that
she
whole
got
thing?
her kids
So this-
into Harvard.
get this, one of the kids is an actor,
Of course.
and one of the kids got into my program at
Stop.
UNCSA and was put into the accepted student group chat. Mind you, when I see, name in the group chat, I'm not fucking thinking of that. Like, I'm not thinking of that
what
at all.
did you say?
I was like, because we're all talking about, oh, which one are you going to pick? You know, are you going to go to this school or are you going to go to this school? And people would be like, I want to go to this one, but I can't afford it or whatever, yada, yada. And I was like, isn't it so fucked up how some people can just like buy their kids way?
You said that in the group chat?
We were dragging people who buy their kids way into college in the group chat while this girl was in the group chat.
Stop.
But did you cite specifically?
We didn't say her specifically.
Okay, yeah, she should hear that.
What did she say?
Yeah.
What did she say?
Nothing. She left. She did not accept the offer to come to the school.
Wow.
So
that's a bummer.
She probably
but
went to fucking Harvard on a full ride. Like,
girl, she probably went to Juilliard. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, as long as like I can see that, like as long as no one
named her,
because like so many people do that, and also like if you're someone who is a beneficiary of that, you should be able to be like, yeah, that's true, that's fucked up. But then again, as like if that was an opportunity presented to me, I wouldn't say no to that shit.
Oh, of course.
So it's like,
of course
just
not.
if you just live in it and you're like, yeah, that's true. Like I've received a lot of benefits from.
Then it's like work, bitch.
I went to college with the nepo baby too, and I feel like he worked. I felt like I was friends with him too. I'm biased, but I felt like he worked even harder to like detach himself from that and like be like, this is me, that's them.
And then
this
also
one dude
present opportunities to your friends.
Real.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm gonna work hard.
Spread the love.
Do it.
Spread the love.
They don't want to be mad at you.
Yeah. The nepo thing. This is how they do it nowadays. They have like little camps, like acting summer intensive shit, where you just happen to go to a camp where all the program heads are at this camp and give you feedback, and you get to meet them before everybody sends in their application.
Yeah.
That is so crazy to be
like
like
Stage Door. Remember, there's Stage Door is a big one.
If you went to Stage Door, and I will say it once, I do not have respect for you. I don't have respect for you. The hell?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what Stage Door is.
It just is like one of the most
it's bouge.
Esteemed
Frenchwoods
and Stage Door. I think Ariana Grande went to Frenchwoods.
Okay.
But it's just like the very like East Coast esteemed acting summer camps that cost an arm and a leg.
The bougie
and nepo babies and free
apparently they're freaks over there too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like the kids go wild. Like rich people are the wildest like people.
100%.
Like they do the craziest things because there's no consequence.
But isn't it fun to get invited to some of those sometimes? It's fun to like dip into that world and be like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and all this is free? Okay.
Literally.
Yeah.
I'll just like, the bar's open, whatever. Have fun, psycho.
I would do that.
It is strange to befriend people who, you know, if they so chose, they could just like change your life like that.
Yeah.
If they really gave a shit.
Insane. No,
but
literally.
also like it's such a strange power dynamic too. So
I know.
it's like
Sometimes I'm like, you don't really want your friend to do this, but then if you're really in trouble, you're like, oh, this could be help. Yeah, it's weird.
It's
but
odd.
dude, they also, why are they the same people that are like, can you Venmo me?
Always.
What the fuck?
Always.
I have friends who sell pussy.
Yeah.
Okay. My friends who sell pussy will never ask me to pay for anything.
Totally.
Like, it's like, I get you this time, you get me next time.
Totally.
That's how I operate. I'm like,
Same.
I'm never going to Venmo request anyone for anything, for any reason.
Yeah. That's
like,
so true. You're right.
It's like embarrassing to me to like have to do that. I would like, granted, this is not sound financial advice. But I'll just put shit on my fucking credit card and be like the check will come and be like, I'll put it on my card, just like Venmo me, but like I'm not gonna chase anybody down. And if they don't, it's like, well, I wanted to go out and like have a night out with my friends. These are my friends. I don't really give a fuck. And also like, if that's gonna like break me financially, that I need to get my shit together.
Yeah.
That's not their fault that I can't fucking afford a pizza.
I can't participate.
Do people your age or like around your age cancel plans because of money? Because that was a big thing when I was 20.
Huge. That is.
I remember being like,
a huge thing.
I really want to come. I literally have $12 in my checking account. I cannot go to dinner with you.
I'm sneaky because I'll go and then be like,
and then have them pay.
What happened? I don't have
We're on to you.
my wallet. Like, and they're like, you brought lip gloss. What do you mean? You're looking inside your lip gloss for your wallet.
I'll be like, what?
Wait,
what? Wait. No, I'll be like, sometimes I'll just straight up be like, do you want to, like, I'll go with you, but like, I can't afford it.
I think is okay.
That's perfect.
If it's their choice, if they're like, oh, I got you, I just really want company at dinner, then that's their that's their choice.
But are you plant cancer, big plant cancers? What does that come from? Because I'm just not like that. Where does it come from?
Yes, it's funny because
anxiety.
We're evolving.
There is some of that.
Some anxiety.
100%.
I think that like again, it's LA. Everyone's really fucking busy.
Right.
Yeah.
I require a lot of like recharging time.
Me too. Ton. I like to be alone a lot.
Well, that's why because my recharging time is social, so I get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So you're extroverted, yeah.
I think that I am an extroverted introvert.
Me too.
So I'm like, there's sometimes with certain people, like I have certain friends where I'm like, whatever you want to do, I know I'm gonna come out of it feeling like replenished. It's gonna feel great.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time bouncing back from someone who I know is just gonna like suck the life out of me.
Yeah. Energy vampire.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I love being alone sometimes. I love chilling at home. I'm really proud of I love my apartment so much, and I think that the dream to me was being this functioning adult who could pay for his life and had no, I saw, we were talking about this, it's so it keeps on coming up, but I saw Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns, and I was like, that is a grown up with an apartment. And even though she was presented as this fucking mess, I was like, no, that I want an apartment so badly.
So bad, yeah.
And I have an apartment, and I'm I live alone. I make a living
It's
doing my
sacred.
fucking
It's,
creative shit. So I'm like,
so
I'm gonna.
special.
You do. You have a day job?
And rent is expensive, so I'm gonna get my fucking money's worth.
You're a
I'm
baddie
gonna
for that.
hang out, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna do my shit, and I'm gonna be comfy. And
Yeah.
Congratulations.
and also, thank you.
Because that's my dream right now. I'm like, please let me quit my.
It's so close.
Please
Yeah,
let me
but
quit that.
you're 23. I mean,
It's so
that's
close.
it just sucks. I mean, that's not to say it could happen. It could happen anytime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the same. I lived in New York when I first graduated.
Do you have a
college.
day job?
I do, yeah, but it's in the
Okay.
creative. It's still in the creative
period.
arts, but it's for sure a day job still. But yeah, I moved to New York, and I just didn't like being at home because I didn't like my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't big or big or spacious. So I would go out a ton, and I still had that energy to go out and stay up all night and whatever. And then I think I moved here when I was 26, and it was kind of a year, and then the pandemic happened, and I think not the pandemic, but I think it just was the later half of my 20s. I was like, oh, I think I'm actually more introverted than I was pretending, and it really helped my anxiety. Because I had severe anxiety issues in my early 20s, and I couldn't nail down why.
But once you were like, maybe I just need more alone time.
Yeah.
And then once I started giving myself alone time, sleeping a lot, not getting as drunk, and trying to get rid of the anxiety. Once I address that, I go, oh my God, wait, I'm not I actually am
It's
okay.
not that bad. Yeah. No, I'm in that spot right now where I'm like, because I am a party animal, bitch.
Yeah. You like to go out.
I went to school in the South. I will shake my ass for hours and hours and hours. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm at the point now where I'm aging a little too quickly because I'm only 23 and I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's also just
It
the
happens.
drinking is really the thing that I think I went through a mini sobriety journey. Didn't really I need to really lock into it, but a sex sobriety journey because I'm a sex addict.
Mm-hmm. Slaw. I just learned that.
Yeah, slaw.
Slaw.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God, no one knows about it.
Yeah.
But you know about
Well,
it.
people
Yeah.
need
I've attended
more.
some meetings before because I was like, is this what's wrong with me?
More people need to go to
when you're
slaw.
gay,
Yeah.
I was just grinder down boots. After UCB, when I was 16,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, what's going on in Hollywood? I would be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be like, what's going on? Let me, I was just wild. I was oh my God. When I was I was literally 15 and I was dating a man who lived in LA and taking the train to go and see, I was just a total gay whore for so long.
Yeah.
And then they say once you get sober, you all your dreams come true.
Mhm.
And I feel it's true about everything because I'm also a stonerina. I grew up in California.
Yeah.
In college, it was hit the bong, go to class, eat
Totally.
lunch, hit the bong, go to the next class.
Yeah.
Run
You
home
were
and hit the bong.
exposed to things that people in rural Idaho weren't.
But
Right.
because of that, as you entered the world, you were able to handle your shit.
real.
Because you found out where your limits are.
You present
real.
very mature. Like, and the things you say, I'm
Thank
like,
you.
wow, I'm surprised. Like, at 23, I wouldn't have said that.
I had to cut back just this summer, like, from the weed because I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, like, I'm going to just fall asleep on the couch again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You fall
You
asleep
still
on the
wanna
couch
go
one
out.
too many times and you're like,
Yeah.
girl, I need to wash my butt. Like, I'm asleep on the fucking couch and like my butt smells. Like, you know.
And I'm always saying that.
And I've heard that about you.
Yep. I won't
it's
stop.
actually the time to wash my butt.
You know when you can smell your dick?
Yes.
You know what I mean. There's a moment where you're like,
Yes.
like I can smell my
After a
dick,
plane
like-
ride, I'm like, get me out of here.
Ew.
I was like, this is so gross. I'm so sorry, Mary. But like, I was flying. My boyfriend and I were flying from the East Coast, and that's like a 5-hour plane ride.
Yeah.
And then like we got home, and he was like trying to fool around, and I was like, baby, my dick smells. Leave me
Literally.
alone. Like I gotta.
People my age, we just like we go out and drink like way too much
Yeah.
all the
know.
time.
That's-
We wake up the next day like fucked up, health fucked up, cigarettes, no eating, just vaping. I still
Coffee.
vape. That's the one.
Yeah.
That
I think you guys.
I
do
gotta
a
say,
lot.
the
We love the
vaping
vape.
thing is fucking gay as hell.
Oh, it's so gay.
It's so gay,
gay.
and
Yeah.
and it's so funny because it's like everyone does it, and there's so many like broy dudes that are just blowing these faggy little fucking clouds. I'm
and
like,
it's
that's gay. That's gay.
Literally like
That's
fucking
gay.
Princess Peach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit. Like
Yeah.
I showed mine too because it's so gay looking. They made them gayer.
Yeah. I think they're trying to.
It has a Sagittarius
Oh.
on it. I'm not even a Sagittarius.
Just realized who I think you. I feel like you look like you could be a Fanning. Like you'd be like a hotter
I get
Dakota
that a lot.
or
I see the
Elle.
fanning. Yeah.
Really?
But like hot, because I think they're pretty girls. I'm not saying that, but I think you're hotter than them. But I think you
My
could be
lucky
like
day.
you're like
Like-
the hot Fanning that they forgot about.
Oh, thank you.
That's not famous yet. That
Who
should
did
be
I
your
get?
nepo baby.
Yeah, just tell people you're a fanning.
Oh my god.
I believe it.
You would?
I'd be like, oh my god,
I'm
that's
a
their
Fanning.
sister that like.
They kicked me out because I was trans.
Yeah.
But I'm the
And you look
other
better than they
Fanning.
did.
I'm Cinderella, actually.
Okay, so Aphrodite, we do have a section where we get some like
Oh,
listener mail. People just
Yes.
sort of send in stories about.
I
like,
love that.
All right, so last Friday, my friend texted me asking if I was interested in going to a concert on Thursday. I responded that I would love to go. Mine was the final text on the subject. They never said that they would buy tickets, it was assigned seating, or even responded something generic like, great, it was a 2-text conversation. FYI, that week they did send me a few texts about something else but didn't mention the concert. On Thursday at 6 p.m., I got a text saying they'll meet me at the venue at 8 p.m. I responded that I had assumed the idea had fallen through because they never confirmed anything with me, and I had other plans for the night. To be honest, those plans are mostly not driving an hour and 15 minutes in traffic to the concert venue. They were furious with me for canceling. They had planned this for me, and I was canceling last minute. They don't accept you never confirmed anything as an excuse because, 1, if I was unsure about whether or not we were going, I should have texted them and asked if we were still on. 2, we've been friends for years and know their MO. They're spontaneous, not a planner, tend to hyperfixate on things so they don't always remember details like confirming. Am I wrong for not going to the concert that wasn't confirmed until 2 hours before the event? Sounds like there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Hot take. I'm on their side. I'm on the other person's side.
Really?
Because this is what I mean where I'm like, I'm that person.
Yeah.
Because I would be furious if you cancel the plans, but I'm not really a planner.
Okay, but
you know what I mean?
I'm bad at
Oh,
this.
I
You
see
should have
what-
come.
Like, I'm just short. I'm just kind of short with it. Like, I'll be like, date on Sunday. If they say yes, there's a date on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't need a reservation. You don't need like
a check in the day before of like, hey, we're still
I
on for
need
tomorrow.
so much info.
I don't need it. If they're like, if we're on the same page, like, I don't need it. If I'm like, oh, I'm going to see you on Tuesday, then I will remember that I'm going to see you on Tuesday. And then you will say, oh, I'll see you on Tuesday. And then like, if Tuesday rolls around and I'm like, and I'm realizing that it's not a good idea, then I would reach out. But like in my head, if we're like, if we have enough enthusiasm about it, it could be 2 texts. And I would be like, great, we're going.
yeah.
Like that's how I am. But then also like there's money on the line. That's a whole nother thing. When there's money
Yeah.
on the line, it's different. Because like come over on this day, whatever. Like
Right.
It might
the
not
stakes
happen,
are
whatever.
low.
like only one person couldn't make
Yeah.
it. Like you know what I mean?
Which
But
is
like,
why I'm sort of like, I'm kind of on the other side of it.
Same.
Because it's like,
Mm.
if they're like concerts on this day, if the tickets were purchased, you would tell me that, hey, I got the tickets.
Send me the
Here's
receipt.
the ticket.
Send me the confirmation number.
Like, there's so many more steps.
That's
I see what you're saying.
I think like if it was important, they would have followed up. But if it's already, I get what you're saying. If it's already established in their relationship, we're like, this is how we operate. Like, I say a thing and you show up, and you say a thing, I show up. We don't get into the details of it.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're just not on the same wavelength, right?
I think they're not on the same wavelength, and also I think it's a thing of like, if it's like tennis, like, I'd be curious to know whose turn it really was. Do you want to do you want to go to the concert?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Great.
Here are the details.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, the details, like, if you know what concert it is, then that's another thing that pisses me off. I would, like, I do stand-up. I'll invite people to a stand-up show. They'll be like, when is it? I'll be like,
look
bitch,
at my Instagram.
Bitch, like, the internet is free.
I know.
Like,
that's
or when you send them the flyer and they're like, where and when? I'm like, bitch, it's on the
did
fucking
you
flyer.
read the flyer?
They don't read.
It's such
the girls
a thing.
can't read.
Media literacy.
Mary. The girls cannot read, and it's pissing me off.
I know, it's true. I look up stuff too. Like, my anxiety, like, I have to know time, date, place. So I'll just go. If my friend was like, hey, do you want to come to this concert with me Sunday? Yeah, it's at the SoFi Stadium. Great. Like, it's this so-and-so. I'd look up time so-and-so's performing and how much. I would just do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because my anxiety would not allow me to just, like, let it be in the hands of fate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just read. Like you said, the internet's free.
Just read it. Like, if you don't know when it is, it would be acceptable to be like, are we still going together?
Yes.
If one person has the tickets and the other one doesn't have the tickets.
Hey, send me the ticket ahead of time in case we don't walk in together. That's big, like the QR code or whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like this person didn't want to go to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder who it was.
I don't know.
I know. They're
that
anonymous.
changes it completely.
Yeah. If
Who
I like you, then you're in the right. If I don't, sorry.
Right. If the concert's like, if it's a good concert, then like, bro.
Yeah, if it's like Beyonce or someone that you had to pay a lot of money to see.
Right. If someone texts me, do you want to see Beyonce? And I say yes.
I'm going.
There's no question.
Yeah.
I will find a way there.
Kyle and I both have the anxiety of like, what's the confirmation number?
True.
Did you buy the tickets yet? Sometimes they sell out fast.
Yeah, because also like, especially concerts or like anything where I have to wait in a line.
Yeah.
I'm like mentally preparing myself. I'm like, if we're going to this thing, like, and I have the money, I'm gonna spend the extra money on making sure that I don't wait in a long line. We're gonna do it.
You're that type. You're a VIP type.
It's just sort of like
VIP.
I just know that I think that my comfort is worth it if I'm able to afford it. Sometimes even if I'm not able to afford it, I'm like, if we're gonna be going to have an experience, let's do it. Fuck it. I'll figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know I'll be. If I'm in a line for too long, I'm turning into the biggest cunt you ever met in your entire life.
Me too.
Real.
Outside Dodger Stadium, outside of Gaga, like 2 years ago.
Oh my God, you went to Chromatica?
Yeah. Did you go?
No.
Show was incredible. Dodger Stadium. I was ready to burn it down to the ground. I learned after the fact they just like randomly hire people the day of to like work the gates and stuff.
There was no organization.
But there was like no organization. You would think they've never hosted an event before there.
Oh my God.
The line was we got in maybe 5 minutes before she went on stage. And we got there early because we knew that
that's
like
so fucked.
it was
Yeah.
Were
some
you,
people
like, far away too?
I wasn't like too far, but it was just like I saw some people still coming in when she was like on her third song.
No,
it was
that
like
would
really
make me
unfortunate.
Furious.
So shit like that, I'm like, I'm checking. We're like, what time are we getting there? What time's the pregame
Yeah.
even?
That's real. I'm also kind of like loose, but
I know.
I understand why. A concert's like, that's not a joke.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you
do
know
have to show up.
Tinx, that influencer? Her name's Tinx, Tinx. She's just like she's a millennial. She's like my age, and she gives a lot of advice to like Gen Z about dating and like showing worth, especially for women. And her big thing about dates is if the man or woman or whoever does not confirm the morning of, you're not showing up for the date.
I will say, I do. Now I'm flipping again. That is true. Because
But just
when you're
for
in a
romantic, this
relationship-
is just romantic dates.
Right. When you're like starting 100%.
Yes.
When you're in a relationship, I don't have to do that. I'm like, if we're going to hang out on this
Agreed.
day, we'll hang out on this day.
But this is starting
like,
off the dating.
Oh, because also being a trans girl, the girls will not. I have been stood up so many times.
Really?
Like an insane amount of times.
Yeah.
Like, because they think they're down and then they think about it again.
They panic.
And they're like, I'm not down. And then
Totally.
And then I'm standing there like, It's so embarrassing too when you look super hot and you walk into like a super busy place and everyone's like,
who is she?
Who is that?
That's so funny.
And then you're like,
yeah,
you just have to leave. Like,
if that happens, do you stay out? You're like, well, I put on. I do. On, yeah.
I mean, I will. If it's a morning date, I won't. If it's a night date, I'll like fuck it. I started going to the bar alone recently.
What's that
Good
like?
for you.
I think everyone has to do it.
Why? What do you think it is that's beneficial?
It challenges like one of the most like embarrassing and nerve-wracking things.
Yeah.
Which is like being alone and being like seen alone in a event in a space that has literally no other purpose than like going with friends. Like so like then socializing, because you show up and you're like, I want to kill myself. Like, I'm alone.
Everyone's judging
Everyone
me.
is judging me. I look like a sad fuck, like sitting here. And then you're like, why have no boys asked me to marry them?
Totally.
Like, I've been sitting here for 5 minutes.
Because every movie ridiculous. Tells you that if you're a hot girl and you're alone at a bar,
a man will come and hit on you.
A Brad Pitt will come and sit by and be like,
exactly.
Why are you alone?
But
baby?
LA, they don't do that.
They don't.
In New York, they do. In any other city in America, you can sit at a bar alone and they'll come up to you. Here, they think they're too cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dating out here sucks.
Here, the boys sit at the bar and the girls walk up. You know, a boy sits alone. Like, that's sadly what's happening over here. It's backwards. But like, I love it because then at a certain point, you're like, bitch, I came all the way out here. I have to talk to somebody. I have to open my mouth and speak to somebody else, or else I'm just a total loser and like I'm gonna hate myself. And then you do, and then sometimes you have a fucking grand old time. You make new friends, and then you're like, you go home and you're like, I really can do anything, you know?
Yeah, it gives you that confidence.
It gives you that. I'm like a junkie though for things that are like super scary.
Oh, that's great.
Like anything that I'm like petrified of, I'm like,
you're gonna
do it.
You gotta.
Here we go. I'm like,
I don't know why, but as you said that, I was like, I would love to see you on like a survivalist show. Have you ever seen Alone?
No.
It's this Netflix show where it's like they literally just drop people in the woods. But there was this one contestant that was like, they were asking them why they were like doing it, and they straight up were like, said something along the lines of like,
I do things that scare me.
I do things that scare me.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, this like really fucked me up. They were like, I believe that there is a certain level of suffering that I've yet to achieve that'll make me learn more about myself. First, I was like, that person's rich and they're rich and bored. But also, but I was like,
rich and bored.
That's so true though. Like going through just any level of discomfort, be it sitting alone at a bar or like having to, I don't know, live off of squirrels or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Will push you to this new version of yourself where you're like,
I'm a bad bitch.
Nothing can kill me. You can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch.
It's true.
Literally.
That's what I thought when I lived in New York. I was like, nothing can change. I step on rats. I
step on rats.
I literally step on rats.
I literally have stepped on rats. Like I can do anything.
I feel like the survival shit, that's maybe a little too far. Like I meant it more in like the
you look hot with a big knife. Just waving it around in the woods.
I do think you'd thrive in a reality show because you have a great personality, and I think people would like judge you, like, oh, this pretty girl is not gonna know shit, and then all of a sudden you open your mouth and you're like, I know this, I know that, I can do this, and everyone's like, whoa.
I want to go on a dating reality show so bad, but I know like I'm trans, it would go horribly. Like I know it would go horribly, but like for some reason I'm like, I could break it. Like,
Love Island.
That's what they all think.
Season.
They're all like, I'm here, and they're gonna treat me so well, and they just get they get them every time.
Have you seen Pop the Balloon?
No.
Fuck the. We don't have enough time to get into the trauma behind Pop the Balloon.
You know about this?
Yes, I know about Pop the Balloon.
Period.
It's awful.
It's
awful, but also can't look away.
It's like 20v1.
We'll talk about it after. But Aphrodite, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
This flew by.
I know. There's a million things I still want to ask you.
Yeah.
You'll have to be a return guest.
Yes, please come back.
Literally.
And we'll have to like go out too. We should go out.
I would love to.
And you'll get a confirmation text from me. Like,
and I will confirm.
We'll make a real plan.
Did you know that Kyle gave me like some of my first wigs I ever had?
Oh.
Did you know that?
That's sweet. I didn't know that.
It
Literally,
was
Anita tension.
Yeah, Anita.
Well, it wasn't entirely like truly. It wasn't entirely a a charitable act, I was like, I gotta get all this shit out of my apartment.
Yeah.
And but I was like, it needs to go to a pretty girl. It needs to go to a talented girl. And then you would literally just posted that you were going to drama school, and I was like, fuck yes, go, take it.
You don't realize he gave me so many that like there are like 4 other trans women out in the world who have one.